Hey guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? No, I haven't gone to martial arts yet. This is yet another video I'm making. Mainly because you guys probably remember when my 3D printer showed up and they just put it at the front door. The sign that I had in the window, I said there was one, but the sun kind of blasted it and faded it, so chances are they didn't even notice it. So we're gonna fix that. I had just got notified that a company sending me a package. It just went out today. It probably won't be here tomorrow. Probably gonna show up on Saturday. I won't be anywhere near this place on Saturday. So I need to make sure that this package gets delivered to the right location where at least I have some sort of security countermeasure set up where if I do get porch bandited, I'll get faces to give to the cops. Because right now I currently am respecting my neighbors by not installing a camera in the front of the house. However, if this sign fails, respect out the door, cameras are going up. Starting to wonder if this media mod thing's actually broken or just partially working. I'm just on a 15-minute break, but even when I take breaks, I still work. But right now, I'm just waiting on someone to get back to me about a problem, and they're not doing so, so that's a thing, and I just elbow check the cat. Anyway, so I decided, you know that foam board I used to make the spray booth? Well, I had a bunch left over, so I made a new sign. I couldn't find a Sharpie, so I used the next best thing, Dollarama paint. There you go. Packages, side door with an arrow with thanks written on it. So I already took the old sign down and threw it out. I put that sign up like, holy shit, 2 years ago. Yeah, the lighting kind of sucks right now. I'm gonna remediate that without having it set on camera. One thing I hate is when I'm watching YouTube videos and they have a Google Home and then they start telling their Google to do stuff like set a timer, and then your Google hockey pucks go off and start setting timers. Anyway guys, I had the sign in this window, and that's where this sign here is gonna go. I think it's dry. Yeah, it's dry. I just touched it and we're good. No smears. No smears, no tears. So the sign was in this window. Now it's not, and I'm gonna put it right here so they can clearly freaking see it from the outside. I'm gonna tape this. I need two hands, and one of them's being a camera mount. There we go, and it's dual purpose too. So if like there was a car in my living room looking through its rearview mirror, I could read it probably. But anyway, it's taped on there. Should be good. God, I love Dollarama for their stuff. Works great. So now if they, I'll give the 3D printer guy the benefit of the doubt. You know, the sign wasn't readable. I didn't realize that the sun can fade a Sharpie. So now we're using Dollarama paint, so we shouldn't have that problem anymore. But no, back when I worked from home nonstop during COVID, I did this. I put some tape on the window with some paper, and people were like, why'd you do that? When I'm sitting here, not right now, but during the summer, the sun will bounce off the roof of the truck and blast me in the eye. And back when my old neighbors were here, he would park his truck where that red car is, but further up, the sun would also reflect off of his chrome mirror right into my eyeball. And it drove me nuts. So my solution was tape this off, prevents the light from coming in and blasting me in the eye socket. And it worked. Probably saying, why don't you just close your shitty curtain from 1922? Well, because I used to like to have the window open from the top up here. I would just open the top window, which I might do right now because it's freaking hot in here. Let some of this air out. When the curtain's closed, the air wouldn't come down and fall on my bidet, and then I wouldn't remain cool. Also, I'd have a fan up there, that dusty fan that I need to disassemble and clean up there. I'd be doing, having that run as an exhaust fan, or an intake fan, sorry, and then have the other fan over here in this window, which is a great big brick fan. I'd have the window open and propped on it, blowing air out, creating kind of like a forced gust of wind throughout the room, a forced recirculator. And it's enough in the summer to keep this room cold, or at least, you know, comfortable, without having to fork out money for air conditioning. And it's a lot cheaper on the hydro too, so that's the thing. So my good buddy, Crazy British Bloke, has been sending me tons of pictures. He's been out fishing without me because I don't live down there and I can't go with him. And he's been catching fish. He's caught like, he found this new spot, showed me. Actually, first he built a cart to go carp fishing. Pretty cool, actually. He built it all from scratch and from parts he found while working jobs, like people throwing things out, and he'd be like, I could use that, I could use that. And then he went home and built himself a carp cart called the Swamp Donkey Cart, and you can check that out here. I don't think he'll be making YouTube videos on it, so I'm pretty sure he doesn't care if I steal it for content, but you never know, maybe he might produce a video later on, I don't know. But you never know, he might jump back into it. I told him flat out, like, if you're gonna make videos, dude, just use this stupid thing. Like, it's perfect. Phones are great for videos nowadays. But no, sure enough, he goes fishing, right? Catching carp, showing me the pictures of the carp. We never caught carp when I was there. I swear, he keeps the juice holes for himself, and he takes me to all the spots where you actually got to work for it, and he saves the luxury spots for himself. I know he's probably watching this going, no, mate, no, that's not what, I just stumbled across it. No, I'm on to you, bloke. I'm on to you, bud. I'm on to you. But he caught some bass and he went out top watering. On the video, one last cast, bloke found this like whopper plopper, and it was a El Chapo, like the one that I sent into the woods, but not the same one. Mine was frog colored and his was bluegill colored. So he decided to take it out to some new pond he found, which we'll probably end up hitting up next year, maybe. We'll see. So many spots to fish down there, and there's so many more spots to discover. He sends out El Chapo and he caught a topwater bass, and then he got the itch. So then he went to talk to a guy who said, oh, if you want something better than a whopper plopper, get yourself a spook, topwater plug, whatever they're called. Basically, it's like a tube, and you walk the dog with it. Now, walking the dog is where you twitch the rod, and the lure goes boom, 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 boom through the water channel. It usually pisses off bass. Sometimes a pike will even come up and slay it. So he went on Amazon. He bought a 3-pack from Hedden, and he's supposed to try those out either today or tomorrow. We'll see how busy he gets. And he'll probably send me more pictures of fish that he caught. But he's like, oh, you got to try these out. And then I got to thinking, I'm looking at it going, it's literally a tube with a round head and a tapered bum. Why can't I just make one? So, you know, I got the old 3D printer back there. I decided to fire it up today, and I made one. And here it is. I forgot, I still have the gold PLA in there. I'm sorry. I'm going to paint it anyway, but only problem is I'm going to paint it, make it look pretty and stuff. I don't even know if it floats. I should go and fill my sink and drop it in and see what it does. It's not a bad idea. Alrighty, the plug has been tested, or the spook, or whatever the hell these things are called. And my design worked. Now, what I did on the inside to give it that rattle sound is I threw some ammunition in it. This is some BBs from a BB gun, because what else would you use BBs on? I guess you could put them in a slingshot, but kind of hard to pinch. Anyway, so I know it works. I also know that it's not sealed completely because it is a 2-piece build with a wire going through it, a through wire. And then I just super glued it shut using Gorilla Glue. I'm gonna paint it. It's not gonna stay gold. I'm gonna paint it white and then add some detail to it and all that fun stuff. Finally test out the spray booth. Wow. Finally test out the spray booth and see how bad that turns out. And probably on Sunday after I get back from martial arts is when I'm going to finish this video. And we're going to take it to the lake and twitch it and see if it'll do what I need it to do. As far as catching a fish goes, I'm not counting on it because they've already drained Nipissing and Trout Lake is a hooer to fish right now. So fishing is basically done until the new year, when I can go ice fishing if we get ice. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to dry this lure off and get the spray booth ready. Unless I happen to get a ticket, then I gotta go back to work. All right, guys, we're gonna start off with white just to get that gold out of there. Let's see if this here will actually spray. I guess it helps when you actually turn it on, right? That answer is no. It does not spray. Okay, we need to add a little bit more white. Not sure what's going on here, but it's spraying, but not really. Could be my paint. Yeah, I'm thinking it's my paint that's the problem. Meanwhile, maybe the airbrush in the garage was fine. I'm gonna add a little bit of rubbing alcohol to this paint, just to thin it out a bit. That's a lot of rubbing alcohol to this paint. It's not feeding through. Okay, let me work on this. All right, guys, I figured out what the problem with the airbrush was. It wasn't the airbrush, it was the paint. Yeah, that paint's been, I bought that paint like 2 years ago. And it's been in the garage this whole time. So obviously it's separated, and when I shook it back up, some of it was already pre-cured. So it's not shooting right through the gun. I'm gonna have to buy some new paint, keep it indoors this time. But it's painted, it's clear coated, it's sitting outside curing because it's UV clear coat. And it puts out a lot more UV than this stupid thing, so, you know, the sun does. Anyway, gonna let that cure. We'll check on it in a bit. And I'll show you what I did. I love the eyeball selection. Thing looks pissed. Alright, that should be enough solar radiation for the old spook. Let's go get it and see how it turned out. See if it's solidified by the same radiation that makes Superman so super. Side note, tonight I'm gonna need to actually go to Walmart after martial arts and buy a pair of running shoes, because it turns out training this weekend, we need to own running shoes. They've changed the location. Originally it was at PG Craig's School of Martial Arts in Sudbury, and now it's changed. Also, the sun has changed, and this thing's not getting radiation anymore. However, it's not really tacky either. But that's the paint job I put on it. Nothing special. I love that eyeball though. Really makes it pop. But yeah, it looks kind of potato, but just give it a little bit more sunlight here. Make sure it's all cured. I don't know. It should be all right. You can see the running from the lines and the splatter because my paint is garbage. But we'll test this out on Sunday. I should be back by around 2 o'clock, which means that's when I'm going to finish this video. I don't know if I'm allowed to bring the camera with me to martial arts. I'm going to bring it anyway. Worst case, I just do some vlogs from the hotel room afterwards. Might be too busy punching and kicking to, I wonder if I can just sit this on the car and let it cook. Are you getting sunlight here? Yeah, it's getting sunlight there. That side's still tacky. That side's nice and dry. So let's just do a little turnover. There's a guy I watch on YouTube called the Angling Engineer. Not a big channel, but he makes a lot of baits and he talks a lot about the engineering side of making a lure. And it's really good. Really good stuff. And he built himself a rotisserie with UV lights to do exactly what I'm doing now. I guess the joys of being an engineer is you know how to do stuff. I can't even paint level. I'm gonna let it sit out here for a little bit longer. I'll come and grab it after. But yeah, I need running shoes and I kind of don't own any of those because who the hell runs anymore? We own vehicles. It's so dumb. Alrighty, hooks are on it, split rings are on it, paint's on it, it's cured, ready to go. I got 2 of these crankbaits to paint as well, but I'm going to order some new paint. I'm going to talk around first and see if there's any shops in town that sells airbrush paint. If not, I'll just order some from Amazon. That stuff was good. It's my fault why it went bad. Same reason why I'm on my 3rd airbrush. I did clean the airbrush, guys, in case you're wondering. It's cleaned. Alrighty guys, got the bait here. Nor what I got in my other hand, that's a thing for a package. Apparently they didn't want to leave it at the door. Don't know why. Anyway, I'm just gonna put this in the truck for now. We have no fishing gear in the truck, so we need to go grab a rod, tie this thing to it. Alright, what am I gonna use? I'm gonna go with the Daiwa. I like the Daiwa. It's like my new favorite. Somebody was asking me what reel this is. It's the Daiwa TWS, I guess. I don't know, Tatula CT, 7.3 gear ratio. I like it better than my Shimano SLX DC, which is funny because this here was like half the price of the SLX. Do I have anything to cut with in here? I don't have my knife. You know what? I should go in the house and grab my multi-tool. I shall return, which gives me a chance to charge up this camera. I decided to come down to Sunset. Not sure how well this is gonna work because I think the lake is really low, but it's also super calm right now. So we might accidentally stand a chance. I should get a picture of this before I break it off on something, like a shallow swimming pike. Yeah, the water is really low. Like I said, normally every year for ice fishing, I gotta watch out for water snakes too. They're not venomous, but they will fight you. All right, let's sail this thing out and see how she does. Well, it casts well. I think it's floating. It walks. It walks. Guys, it walks. I hope you guys can see that. I actually made a bait that works. Like, I don't think we're going to make it official. Usually when they drain the lake like this, because normally this water down here is sitting level, like this rock here in front of me right there. This one that the lure is sitting on right now is underwater. So like they drained it a lot. The lake couldn't be calmer. But the problem is I think the fish are out deep now. But it is a good night for topwater, that's for sure. I've never played with a walk the dog lure before. Normally I rely on Senkos. I can honestly say I've never caught a fish on topwater. Nope, that's a lie. I caught one on the Torpedo when I was out with Ryan and Rex. I'd say we could try the Lavaz River, but I question if there's anything there. Like, you notice how there's not a single boat on the water right now? This is pretty much also my last week that I'm allowed to fish this body of water. But I think we might head down to Lavaz. We'll go take a look and see how bad it is. And then we'll throw a couple lures around. We'll throw this thing around and See if anything there wants to eat. Let's go. Alrighty guys, it says no parking down here, so oh, I could park down here. Oh well, I could use the steps. I only did 11,000 today. I'll give this top water a try. See how she do. All right.
Is that any luck in here tonight?
Nah. Were you on the main lake fishing?
Yeah. First time I've been out in 2 months. It was pretty quiet, but I didn't have a clue where they were, so.
I think they're all hiding. This weather's throwing them for a loop. No way. Did you guys see that? Oh guys, all we had was one blow up, so I'm gonna call it there. Those guys were on a boat out fishing and they caught nothing either, so the fact that something surfaced and tried to eat it, I'm taking that as a good sign. This thing is going to be great next year. Come out in spring, throw it around, get some of those springtime topwater bites. Hell yeah. All right, back to the truck, and then we're going to go home because I don't know how well the GoPro's picking it up, but the sun's currently sitting at the horizon. It's time to get the frig out of here. Maybe we'll swing by the waterfront there and grab a sunset shot if it hasn't completely set yet. But the street lights are on. Street lights are on. That means I gotta go home. That's a 1980s joke. When we were kids, that was the symbol of get the frig home. The moment them lights turned on, you had 5 minutes to walk through that front door or you got scolded. All right, let's pitter patter. Alrighty guys, we are home and I got my package. Yay. Anyway, I'm gonna go put that fishing rod away. I'm gonna leave the top water on it because, like I said before, everybody else was having problems fishing tonight. Like, I asked those guys that were down at the river and they caught nothing. Mind you, the one guy had a weird setup going. He had a bobber with a spinnerbait on it. I've never seen that before, but I guess it's a good way to keep the spinnerbait off the bottom. Or, you know, you could just cast it and start retrieving right away, but whatever. However, I did get a blow up. So I'm not going to count it as official, but I do know next year when fishing starts, sorry for the odd angles, guys. I'm just maneuvering this rod around. Next year when fishing starts, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong. We're going to catch something top water next year. Another thing I want to do next year is, I forgot about this one lake my friend showed me a couple years back where we went out there and we murdered them. Like, we were catching bass like crazy. It's not a well-known lake, therefore the fish aren't stressed, therefore they're easy to murk. Now the problem is you do better on a watercraft. My solution is the kayak. Getting the boat in there could be a pain in the ass. Getting the kayak in there, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Which means over the winter I'm gonna have to order parts for my truck so that come spring, I can put a rack on the top of it for 2 reasons. 1, to transport the yak to that lake, and 2, to transport it down to Bloke's, because Bloke is buying a kayak. Either this year or next year, he's buying himself a kayak because he wants to go kayak fishing big time. So that means I gotta bring my kayak from here down to Bloke's. So that could be fun. So that's something to look forward to. However, I still enjoyed going out. It was good. You guys probably, like, look at it outside. It's so dark. It feels like it's 9 o'clock. It's not even 7. It feels like it's 9 o'clock. I freaking hate this time of year when it starts getting dark. Then that daylight savings time comes into effect. And then all of a sudden it's like, I get off work at 4 and it's dark. Oh, I hate this time of year so much. It's so depressing. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to shut the video down here. I think the old agent, I don't know what the hell to call this thing. I'm going to call it the agent because it sneaks in and it tries to get destroyed. That's not what agents do. I don't know. What should we call this? I know it's a spook, but that's what I think KVD or Striking calls theirs. So I should come up with a name of that because it actually freaking works. Unlike a lot of the 3D printed baits I've made that don't work, that one works nice. So sometimes, I don't know what was happening, but at some points it was diving. I think it was catching grass, and then it was letting go of the grass and it started walking the dog again. But man, if that fish would have ate, that would have been so good. That would have been so good. Make it official this time of year when fishing sucks. Anyway, guys, I'm going to shut her down here, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. This winter, I plan on printing a bunch of different lures and painting them up and getting them ready for spring, as well as we're probably, depending on the weather, right now I'm going to say we're not ice fishing because it's super warm, but who knows what's going to happen. It's polar vortex, whatever. If it gets super cold and then the ice freezes enough where it's not as sketch as last year, you may catch me out ice fishing, but we'll see how that goes. Got a couple ideas for videos coming up. Yeah, should be a good time. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, favorite, comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, guys, live it to win it and peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.